Hi friends, today I'm a little overdressed, but that's because if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you would know why. Today's Monday. I'm going to give you a tour. Basically, it's going to be the last tour of the orchard, and it kind of makes me a little sad to say it, but I think it's going to be the last one just because it's about to get really crazy here, and I only have just a couple weeks to get things packed up, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to give you another tour. So let's just say this is the last official tour of the orchard here at this home. This is my view when we walk outside from the back door. This is our orchard. If you're new here, most of these trees have been here since 2019. I like to start from this side. You can tell my citrus needs some watering. It's just been really cloudy these past couple of days, and then I think it's gonna rain, and then it's not. They're struggling a little bit, but we'll get them watered today. We do have some limes, so I'm excited to still harvest some of these before it's time to go. And then the lemon tree had a lot of blooms, but I don't think it's bearing any fruit. This one struggles. I think it really doesn't like the container anymore, or I have to feed it a lot more than what I've been doing. I'm so excited to show you the pomegranates. It bloomed last year as well. But look at this, it's got 5 blooms in one spot. And its companion does have one set of blooms that I had not noticed. But these trees are quite young, especially that one. These have been here since last year. The other set that I had died with our last winter, so I had to replace them. And I really love these two. I think they are loving the spot as well. If you're coming down over here for my peaches and nectarines, we still have a couple blooms, and we do have some peaches and a little bit of nectarines. This one's Anastasia, and it's the first year it's bearing fruit, and I love the color. There's a couple here. This new one, June Gold Peach, has a couple peaches and a couple that aren't doing so good. So for example, these right here, they need to be removed. This is the first year it's here, so we need to let it grow a little bit more. Now we're coming over to the next set, and it's really my favorite. They've grown so much quicker than any of the other trees. They're super full. They've already bared fruit, and these are my apricots and plums. My royal apricot has been the best. But I wanted to show you real quick. Look at the bottom, the trunks, and the size in comparison to my peaches and nectarines. This is my very first set that I planted, and I think that I planted them too low. They need to be raised a little bit more. The ground wasn't the best. I think I left some water there that I shouldn't have left. So I think that's why this one started off in bad conditions. There's a lot of lessons learned from that set, and I'm going to apply them in the new place. So I'm really excited to show you. I'm still going to do a high density orchard. I'm going to do it differently, and I'm so excited to show you. Down from this view, you can see all of my apricots. There's some that are going to fall, and that's the tree's natural way to thin itself out. Let me show you real quick an example. Look at that one. You can already take this off. There's another one over here. So I'm excited for the new owners to get to try some of those apricots. My Santa Rosa plum also has some fruit. It doesn't have as much. Let me give you a little glimpse. I know I saw some over here. Oh. Not that many, but they'll have some. Now my cherries haven't bloomed, and they didn't bloom this year, but they look a little bit better than last year. So I'm hoping that next year they'll get lucky. I sure am gonna miss these. They just look much happier this year for some reason. And there's a lot more of growth down at the bottom. We didn't have too much of that last year. It's just growing in the top. And I have to do some cleanup. We shouldn't let this happen down here because a lot of energy is going to these, and it's not the same tree that's from underneath the graph. So moving on over to my Dorset Golden. We do have some apples and they look so cute. Quite large now. This one has about a dozen apples. Look at the size of the trunk compared to that one over there, and they are the same age. Pretty crazy, huh? It's a big difference. And this is an area that's a little bit more difficult because we're in the corner, and this tree has grown so much that it does shade this one in the middle. This one's a new one, and I know this one's gonna struggle just because it's just pushed more further back. And oh, look at that, I just noticed that that piece of fence is coming apart. But this is still a late tree. So if I would have done things a little bit different, I probably would have put the earlier tree over on that side so that it didn't shade this one. But we're still growing. It's not as fast, but we're there. This is the pear. And this one is actually growing much quicker than the one over here, and the one over here is already being attacked by aphids. And we actually have some fruit. Look at those pears. They're so beautiful. But over here is my aphids, and I've already tried to spray these down a few times just with the water hose and the jet setting. We have another pear there. I need to keep doing that on the daily. And here are my figs. See how different they are? They're much bushier. Just because now I'm learning and cutting them sooner than later. So they bush out more than they get tall, because I really want to be able to reach all the figs instead of having them grow extremely tall. Figs are just starting to form. Soon all this will be full of figs. And then we come over here to all the citrus. And they definitely need some food, just because some of them are struggling a bit. But this one's doing so good that it has a lot of new growth still. So I think it's gonna bush out pretty quick. My mandarin is bearing some fruit, but we're not gonna let it keep that much fruit. I think just a couple. It's got a lot of fruit. But we still want it to get much bigger than that, just because they tend to withstand the cold a lot better when they're more mature, and we need them for this area. These were a little bit weak from the frost. We lost all of its leaves, and this is some of the old foliage. So we've got the same issue over here. And this one really surprised me, because you would think that that is not healthy wood, but we have some growth. So it's really interesting. But we need to remove the fruit so it doesn't struggle, and it puts energy into growing. It has a lot of little fruits. Yeah, so I'll need to come back and do that for these. and add some more fertilizer. And I don't know what happened to this one. This was new growth, or maybe not, but it finally said it's not working. But that side is, so I'm gonna need to cut it here. Oh, look, I just noticed that. It has a gash here of some sort, so it's not doing so good. We'll need to attend to this one. My grapefruit is coming along. Same thing. It's bearing fruit, but it's too young. So let's get rid of some of that. We'll need to come back and cut this off. And finally, we have our avocado, which is starting to come back. So I'm excited. I think good things will happen for this one, even though it's the very last one, but maybe it'll keep going. And this is my favorite view when you're coming from the vegetable garden. This is where the sun sets. This is where I see all of the lush fruit trees. Well, as you can see, I still have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of cleanup, and I have to leave good instructions for the next owners to know what to do with each one of these trees. I really wanted you to see what's going on. I know a lot of you really love to see these tours, and I hope that you continue to follow me through my next journey. Things that I've learned in this garden have been very precious to me. I have a lot to share, and I still have so much growth. I'm always going to be learning. I love to share everything that I've learned, tips and tricks, so stick around for that. I really wanted to open my garden up again this year for you to come take a tour. But stay tuned, because there are some things that we're going to be doing different in the new place, things that I wasn't able to do here, so I'm so excited. The next video is going to be on the vegetable garden, so stay tuned for that, and updates on the move. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.